Shalom, brothers and sisters. This is your brother ISRAELITES from the Northern Kingdom, bringing some edification for you Negro, Latino, and Indigenous who are the biblical Israelites. Before we start, we want to give all praise and honor to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Barakatham, Rakakadash. That Yahweh, being the name of the Lord, not Jehovah, or God, or Yah, or Ahaya. It's Yahweh, the creator of all, the Ancient of Days. Bahasham is in the name of, and Yahweh Shai is the one you guys call Jesus or the Christ, signally speaking. And we give double honors to our elders in GMS. We learned this truth. Shalom to the apostles, the bishops, and to the men down the highways and byways, giving the 100% truth day and night. Shalom to you and your households. And shalom to the elect of the nation of Israel, Labakar in the Hebrew, the house of David being rebuilt as we speak. Shalom to you and your households. And finally, shalom to the speckled birds among the heathen nations that look like the heathen nations, but return to the house of Israel and are being edified by these videos. Shalom to you. The date today is November 8th of 2025. Our hope for your salvation and the destruction of the nation of Edom. And as we see here, this image shows who is the wicked of this world. Okay? And if you're not privy to this, as if this is the first time maybe watching this video or giving understanding, or you just came across this video, these are the Edomites, descendants of Esau, which are hated by the creator of heaven and earth. Now you might say, well, he created them. Why does he hate them? He created them for a purpose. Okay? Just like everything's got a purpose, you don't have to love it, right? To create it. Everything's got a purpose. And Esau, okay, basically is Cain, the spirit of Cain coming back again. Remember, Cain slew his brother, Abel. And those spirits came back again. And what you would call today Jacob and Esau. Okay? The protagonist and the antagonist. Okay? What you would call the white hat and the black hats. If you know what you're talking about. In the cartoon series, right? The good guy is the white hat. The black hat is the bad guys. Okay? So Jacob is the good guy, the white hats, blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. And the black hats are the Edomites, which today they're calling themselves Caucasians, white people, Europeans, which all those terms are lies. Okay? They are called the wicked in the scriptures, right? Descendants of Esau, Idumeans, right? They're called the serpent, the dragon. They're called the devil. And in different contexts, they're also called Satan, Shatan. Okay, so it depends on the context. Because a lot of people might say, Lucifer is a fallen angel. There's nowhere in the Bible that talks about Lucifer but in Isaiah 14. In Isaiah 14, Lucifer is the king of Babylon. You're not going to find Lucifer anywhere else in the Bible but Isaiah 14. And it's talking about a man, which is a here and the now America. Okay? And this is what they're talking about. When they're talking about Isaiah 14, about the wicked, about Lucifer, these are the Luciferians. Okay? They call themselves today the Illuminati. Okay? If you're not privy to that, I'm sure you've watched movies that mention the Illuminati. The Illuminati are supposedly the enlightened ones, right? But they are the enlightened ones of the left-hand side, of pure darkness. Okay, these are the people that are doing backdoor deals, that are doing sacrifices, that are doing rituals. Believe it or not, people have no idea that they're doing ancient rituals from Babylon, from Egypt, right? And these ancient languages, and summoning up Satan himself, conversing with demons. Okay? This is what these people do to maintain power. All these wars all go back to these people. They plan these wars not for freedom, not for victory, not for democracy, but for them to have sacrifice people, right? So they could have more power in this world. But now that is coming to an end. Okay? All that is coming to an end. Every war that has been fought is a banker's wars. Okay, these are the bankers, the elites of the world, the DuPonts, the Gettys, the DuPont. Okay, these are the people that owned all the wealth, the 1% of the whole world. Okay, you might not know their names, but they exist. These are like multi-billionaires that make Donald Trump like a puppet. They're the ones running everything behind him. Okay, these are high level, above skull and bones and all these things. These are the people that are manipulating those people. Okay, just so you know. But let's read in the scriptures about this, because we're in the time where these devils are about to fall. They're about to fall hard. Okay, so let's read it. And this is Psalm 64. And look what it's the titled, Prayer for the Deliverance from the Secret Enemies. Okay? The secret enemies are these Edomites, the council of the wicked, or the cabal. Okay? To the chief musician, a psalm of David. Hear my voice, O God, and my prayer. Preserve my life from the fear of the enemy. Right? Because you have to understand David had many enemies, but he's going to get real specific in what he's talking about. Remember, King David was not just a warrior. He was not just a singer. He was also a prophet. Okay? So he saw many things that the Lord allowed him to see. Verse 2, hide me from the secret counsel of the wicked. And that secret counsel is what we just saw. Okay, there's these Edomites, the Illuminati. All right, which run the world. Hide me from the secret counsel of the wicked, from the insurrection of the workers of iniquity. The workers of iniquity are what? The ones who are doing sin all the time. Okay? And these people are constantly doing sin every day, every night. That tells you they can't go to sleep without thinking of sin. Okay? Verse 3, who whet their tongues like a sword and bend their bows to shoot their arrows, even with bitter words. Right? Because a lot of people don't understand that words have power. Okay? Words have power, frequencies. And that's why our war is not a physical war, but a spiritual war. And these words that we're saying have power. That's why we invoke these words. Okay? The actual book itself has no power, but these words inside the book, which you would call the Biblios, the Bible, these have power. And if you were reading in the Hebrew, it would have more power, okay? It tells you that in the book of Sirach, the introduction, okay? So this is our war, the spiritual war we are fighting day and night, okay? Which is a spiritual, not a carnal war. Because these people are the accuser of the brethren, okay? Accuse us every day and night, okay? Trying to say that we are not worthy of this pact, okay? That they should give it back to him. Remember, he's the one that gave his pact away. There's birthright, okay, for a morsel of raw meat and lentils. Verse 4, that they may shoot in secret at the perfect. Suddenly do they shoot at him and fear not. Right? Because these words, they're also, remember, they do rituals. They're doing everything in Latin. All the witchcraft is done in Latin, right? And in other languages, of course. Canaanites, right? Arabic, all these other different languages. They even go into the Babylonian, right? Because they even went into specifically Iraq and captured these temples, and we're doing rituals at the actual places. Okay, this is a lot of people don't understand this. That they may shoot a secret at the perfect, suddenly do they shoot at him and fear not. They encourage themselves in an evil manner. They commune of laying snares, right? They're always setting traps, right? For Jake. We're putting a whole bunch of guns in the hood. We're just dropping off a whole bunch of drugs in the hood. The trap, okay? It's nothing but a trap. Because we want to get stuck in this cycle of violence, this cycle of hatred to your own brother, okay? And they know this. You know, they know we're a tribal people, and and that's where gangs come from, right? The Bloods and the Crips, both what? Royal colors, okay? Royal colors, because we are royalty. They encourage themselves in an evil manner. They commune of laying snares privily. They say, who shall see them, right? Because they're doing all this in secret, and they're doing this with the elite. No regular people are really seeing this. So nobody is going to just know about this. Only these people that are involved in these this cabal, this secret society, which you would call the Illuminati today, right? But it's just the council of the wicked, of these Idumeans, these Edomites. They search out iniquities, right? They search out sins. They accomplish a delinquent search, right? Because they're very thorough in their investments. They look at who you are and where your weaknesses, where your strong points, everything about you. That's how they can infiltrate, right? They go everywhere to infiltrate everything, from the Vatican to the government, Black Lives Matter, all of it. They infiltrate everything. That's why you have Jewish people living everywhere in the world, from the Arctic Circle to, you know what I mean, to Mexico. What is a president of the United States? It's a so-called Jew, right? That's what they do. They infiltrate everybody. They search out iniquities. They accomplish diligent search, both the inward thoughts of every one of them, and the heart is deep. Okay? Verse 7, but God shall shoot at them with an arrow. Suddenly shall they be wounded, right? Because that arrow, okay, think about it. This is King David speaking and seeing the destruction of America, seeing the destruction of the wicked. And how can you describe an intercontinental ballistic missile when you don't know what that is? But you know what an arrow is. You're a warrior, right? So he's seeing that arrow coming from the other side of the world, coming to destroy the wicked, which is the nuclear bombs, right? Which is, so they shoot an arrow, suddenly shall they be wounded. So they shall make their own tongues to fall upon themselves. Because what's happening as we speak. So-called Caucasian people are speaking against Caucasian people, right? Egyptian against Egyptian. Is not America divided in half? Is not America about to have a civil war? These things are true. These things that you might, 20 years ago, you might say this is never going to happen. America's, they get it, you know, they understand each other. They're cooperating, and we're one big happy family, kumbaya, right? No, right now, anything can spark off, and there will be a civil war as we speak. Okay, what's happening at this moment? A SNAP, all those food from SNAP, right, has been cut off. 45 million people are without food. These are the people that rely on food every month for whatever purposes, right? There's a lot of people that have been abusing the system, but there's a lot of people that need the system. Elderly people, right? There's people that are handicapped and they can't work, but there's people that are lazy people that have been living off this from generation to generation. But nonetheless, they've cut it off, and they're going to create more crime. They know this. So they shall make their own tongues to fall upon themselves. All that see them shall flee away. Right? Because it tells you that eventually they shall, in Isaiah 14, it tells you We know what we're going to go to that. That he will be like a bad dream. Okay? Verse 9, all men shall fear and shall declare the work of God, for they shall wisely consider of his doing, right? Because this is going to be in the kingdom of heaven afterwards, right? All men should fear and shall declare the works of God, right? Because what's going to happen? The Lord is going to declare the new government, which is going to be based on the law, statutes, and commandments. And everybody's going to have to follow the law, statutes, and commandments, whether you believe or not, right? Verse 10, the righteous shall be glad in the Lord and shall trust in him, and all the upright, talking about the Israelites, in heart shall glory, right? Because the Israelites are the upright people. But remember, they speak about Esau, and they are the crooked. The Lord made them crooked. Okay, let me see if we can get that. Isaiah 14. Because they speak about the Illuminati here. Oh, perfect. Here we go. This is Isaiah 14 and 5. And Yahweh has broken the staff of the wicked. Okay, that staff represents power. Okay, he's about to knock these people off their horse. And Yahweh has broken the staff of the wicked and the scepter of the rulers. These are the people that have been ruling for over 2,500 years, brothers and sisters. All right, from the time of the Greeks. He who smote the people in wrath with a continual stroke, he that ruled the nations in anger, is persecuted, and none hindereth. Right? Because he's been ruling the world. These people have been at the top. Okay? Remember, the Greeks, Romans, and after the Romans, 1,000 years, Jake ruled Europe for 1,000 years, and then the Black Plague came, and Esau came back in the what you would call the Renaissance, right? The rebirth. The rebirth of what? The rebirth of the so-called white man. Okay? The whole earth is at rest and at quiet, right? Because when these people go down, it's going to be paradise again. Everything's going to flourish. Everything's going to grow. Remember, these people are genetically modifying everything, creating new species, new plants, new fruits, new vegetables, right? Thinking they are gods. The whole earth is at rest and it is quiet. They break forth into singing. And again, this is a metaphor. Yeah, the fir trees rejoice, and the cedars of Lebanon saying, since thou art laid down, no feller, a feller is somebody that chops down trees, has come up against us. Because what? Who's destroying the Amazon forest? These so-called devils, man. Destroying the lungs of the world, man. And hell from beneath is to move for thee, to meet thee at thy coming, and stir up the dead for thee. Even all the chief ones of the earth had raised up from their thrones, all the kings of the nations. All they that speak and say unto thee, art thou also become weak as we? Right? Because they're about to fall off their horse. They're about to lose their position. And they're asking them this question. Now you're weak like us? Because other nations are going to lose power too. It's not just the so-called white man. Everybody else is going down. Okay? The 18 nations, they're all going to be going into chains. No matter what. All they that speak and say unto thee, art thou also become weak as we? Art thou could be like unto us? Thy pomp, which is a pride, thy pomp is brought down to the grave, and the noise of vials, the worm is spreading under thee, and the worms cover thee, right? Because they're weak. They're no longer strong. Their pride has deceived them, right? That's in the Proverbs. Well, how art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer? Remember, we read it at the top. It's talking about the king of Babylon, a man. This is not talking about what they've told you that the angel and he's Lucifer. This is talking about the so-called white man, or really the Illuminati, the secret council, brothers and sisters. How art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, son of the morning? How art thou cut down to the ground, which didst weaken the nations? For thou hast said in thy heart, I will ascend into heaven. I will exalt my throne above the stars of God. I will sit also upon the mount of the congregation in the sides of the north. Right? What? North America. So they're the ones who set themselves as God. When you look up the image of God, who does it look like? It doesn't look like Chinese people. It doesn't look like African people. It looks like so-called Caucasian people or the Edomites. They did that. They're guilty of that. I will ascend above the heights of the clouds. I will be like the Most High, right? They think they're God. They're like gods. They have power, right? Because they create a couple bombs and lasers. The Lord's about to destroy these people in 1 hour, okay? All this technology that the Lord gave these people, and it's all for nothing. All to destroy them. Yet thou shalt be brought down to hell, to the sides of the pit, right? Because he's about to be knocked out of space, right? From the Space Force when the Lord comes. That's why they have a Space Force. They that see thee shall narrowly look upon thee and consider thee, saying, is this the man, right? Lucifer, the man, not the entity, which you would call the evil entity or angel, right? This is talking. Lucifer here is talking about the king of Babylon, a man. Okay, they that see thee that shall narrowly look upon thee and consider thee, saying, is this the man that made the earth to tremble, that did shake kingdoms, right? Who's the one that set off bombs? Hiroshima, Nagasaki. Who shake kingdoms? They were the ones who threw the bomb, right? That made the world as a wilderness, right? Because what does the bombs do? It destroys. It makes like a desert. It's gone. And destroyeth cities thereof, that open not the house of his prisoners? All the kings of the nations, even all of them, lie in glory, every one in his own house. But thou art cast out of thy grave, like an abominable branch, and as the raiment of those that are slain. Thrust through with a sword, right? Because the Lord is about to drop the bomb on these people too. Not just one bomb. Every bomb that has been made is about to fall in the United States. Okay? About to drop the bomb on me. Down to the stones of the pit, as a carcass trodden under feet. The Lord is not playing. He already declared this from the beginning. Thou shalt not be joined with them in burial, because thou hast destroyed thy land and slain thy people. He's explaining why these devils are going to be destroyed. Because he put hands on his children, on God's anointed, okay, Yasharallah, okay, the kings and priests of the earth. Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. The people they hung on trees. The people they dragged until their eyes popped out. The people they ripped apart. They're going to have to pay for all these things. Thou shalt not be joined with them in burial, because thou hast destroyed thy land. They spilled much blood, okay, when taking Americas. From the so-called Native Americans, which are the 10 tribes of the nation of Israel. And slay thy people, the seed of evildoers shall never be renowned. Prepare slaughter for his children. Okay, so the people that are living now are descendants of the people that created a huge massacre, which they celebrate every year. It's called Thanksgiving, man. They celebrate the genocide of the natives. Prepare slaughter for his children, for the iniquity of their father, for the sins of their fathers. So these people are going to have to pay with blood, okay? For the iniquity of their fathers, that they do not rise, nor possess the land, nor fill the faces of the world with cities. These people will never, ever rise up ever again. These people are done, destroyed, never to be heard of. These people are nothing, dung, shit. For I will rise up against them, saith Yahweh of hosts, and cut off from Babylon the name and the remnant, and son and nephew, saith Yahweh. So these people are done. If the Lord is against you, there is nothing you could do. You can just kiss your ass goodbye, because the Lord is coming for you. I will also make a possession for the bittern and pools of water, and I will sweep it with the bosom of destruction, saith the Lord of hosts. Okay? So that's it, brothers and sisters. So you know the congregation, okay, of the wicked and we read about it. Okay, the king of Babylon, okay? Here it is, verse 5. The Lord has broken the staff of the wicked and the scepter of the rulers. So these people are done, are through. They're about to lose grip, power on everything, and lose everything. These devils have been running this world, are about to lose everything. They're going to go into change. These are going to be the first slaves of the kingdom of heaven. These are going to be the first people on the auction blocks. We're going to sell these people, man. This is biblical prophecy that these people will be sold in the kingdom of heaven, that they will labor in the kingdom of heaven, building our kingdom. Call halal Yahweh ba'ashem Yahushai, barakatham, rakakedash. Brothers and sisters, these are great days. These are great days that many prophets have wanted to see. Shalom.